D&D. It saved my life, made me sad, made me happy, made me feel all sorts of emotions. And now I'm just sitting back thinking of all those years I sat there and played. Freaking people messaging me. But all I want is to play. I haven't been able to play over a year. And it's because I don't want to go to some random store and play with people, that I don't know. I mean, that's great. But, I like to swear. And I like to drink when I'm playing D&D. Not over excessively, because if you get too drunk, you're going to have a horrible campaign. You're going to have people standing at the table and you're just like, sit down, please. I just worked on this for a month. But no, D&D is an amazing thing. It saved my life. One time I wanted to croak myself, and I don't condone that at all. But my buddy's all like, why don't we play some D&D? Invited me over and I played D&D, and it was, that saved my life. But yeah. I used to have a ton of miniatures. Just a ton. And I paint my own miniatures, which I have to rebuild my whole army. So I got my little mage lady. Got my Yeti. That's going to be in my story. See, I made a whole world. The world of Vindor. And you're on the Isle of Lordland. There's 12 continents, a multi-freaking universe. You can even time travel, in which you can even go into the Old West, which is kind of weird, But in one of the first books, in the first edition D&D, first edition, actually explains how you can time travel, and it makes it so your guy can actually change into a gunslinger and stuff. So it totally gives you the stats for that. For Boot Hill, the original Boot Hill, they give you the stats for that. So, so your guy can time travel. I'm sitting here making a calendar right now, and that's the hardest thing, is coming up with holidays and things, in which you need to make a calendar, or you're going to get lost. People are going to be like, oh, I thought it's been summer this whole campaign. And you're just like, oh, crap. It's Thanksgiving? No, but it's still summer. Oh. But no, you'll do okay. My world is huge. It's got 12 continents. Still, I'm working on the continents. I'm still on the one continent that I built. And that's what's cool, is you can have this one continent and you're slowly building to another while the people are leveling up, in which you can make a totally new continent that they can travel to, and this becomes open to them once they're a higher level. And that way it's kind of easier for you, because you can't have a bunch of level 1s being all like, I want to travel the sea, and so like, you can't afford the ship, you can't afford the food right now. But yeah, the maps I make, I could fill a room and it'd only be 5 miles. Totally open world, in which, making the background and everything, a lot of it ends up coming out of my ass in the end, because I make a story about somebody, and this happens to everybody. You make one person like a really big plot, and then they go and die, or they get killed, or your player characters kill them. So a lot of it ends up coming out of my ass, but these are some of the maps. Oh god, I'm getting eaten. This is one of the maps. And this is only a half of it. The other half is sitting there. But yeah, that's probably about 2 miles in the game. But yeah. I've always loved Dungeons and Dragons. I started off playing that little board game that they had, I think it was Dungeon Fighter or something, I can't remember. And pretty much you just played as one of the characters, and you didn't really get special abilities. You just run around, collect as much treasure, and get back to the point, and you would win. But that made me think, I want to play actual D&D. So I bought the 5th edition starter pack, and that went on to going and playing 1st edition after that, after my ex broke up with me and took all my miniatures. Don't let your ex get a hold of your miniatures. So I wanted to play a totally different, thing. So I'd forget about her. So I didn't give up on D&D. I just played a different edition. So I went to 1st. And I realized that 1st is pretty amazing. 1st is like the granddaddy. Not the granddaddy, but of advanced it is. Of advanced D&D, it is the granddaddy. In which I love 1st edition. 1st edition helped me get into the 2nd edition, in which I love 2nd edition, and that helped me see that some of that advanced D&D and the thing about weight and all that, and just certain things, syncing, it just taught me that 2nd edition is mostly like real life, in which it kind of sucks. You get low health points and people do big damage. Let's say you have a fighter with 8 hit points or 10. Then he goes up against the orc. The orc rolls a 10 with his battle axe. The guy's dead. But it's what I like. It's the chance. It's the thrill. I like. I'm a gambler. I got a gambling problem. But yeah. I mean, 1st edition is an amazing thing. Because they didn't exactly know what they were in for putting a book together. They were just like, well, here it is. Here's the game. And this is what you do. And they didn't know exactly how to put it together. That was the first time they ever really put a book together. I mean, they put magazines together, but that's a lot easier. Compiling everything into one book is a lot harder. That's why they made them into 3. And they've been playing for years, obviously. They made the modules and everything. Like Gary Gygax and all them. They already played for years, so they're just like, okay, this should be simple for them. But no, they kind of put it, kind of stacked together and put things in wrong places. Like they put certain things that only the dungeon masters should know, or something that should be in the player's handbook into the dungeon master's guide. So, but that's okay. That's where 2nd edition kind of tweaked that, fixed that all up. Which is very easy to make a character in 2nd edition. You follow the frickin' steps, and you read. How hard can that be? Look at this. It's even made it down to where you got a little plot laid out. Look at this. Where is it? It explains exactly how to do it. Right here. Step by step. You see that? Step by freaking step. They have step by steps. They got roll ability scores, choose a race, select a class select a class, choose on alignment, record saving throws in THAC0. It teaches you THAC0. You just gotta read it. People are all like, what in the hell is THAC0? THAC0 is very easy, okay? When you start off as a level 1, everybody's got the same THAC0. Unless you got hit modifiers and stuff. So let's say, let me get Brandon Thaybold. This guy right here. He's got exactly half of it. So, you roll for a 10 armor, a target's AC armor class would be exactly a 10. It'd be half of that. So, you go to, what's half of 20? 10. Okay? What's half of 19? 11, boom, 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 until you're finally negative 10. That's 30. Well, I probably didn't make sense to any of you, but trust me, it's easy once you get it down. And, yeah. I mean, these little books like this, these were the dankness that came out back in the day. People, waited for these to come out. They were like, oh, dude, did you just barely get that new complete book of freaking, Sonics? And, yeah. It was an amazing thing. Like, personally, I like it because it's history. It's a part of what made D&D so great was the old books. And I mean, you don't have to like them, but you gotta accept them, because if it wasn't for this stuff right here, you wouldn't be playing no 5th edition or 3.5. Thank God for TSR, or we wouldn't even have D&D. You know? Like, it's an amazing thing. But yeah.